Welcome back, everybody. So what happened was I posted my video talking about indirect versus direct. This random guy just challenged me. I was like, we can do a video about it if you want. Instead of coming on my channel, he wanted me to come on his channel, and it was just Skype. So he just sent me through a Skype, and it went to just to audio. I couldn't see any of this. I didn't know who I was talking to. I didn't know where it was going. All I knew was what he told me, that it was a live show, right? To debate direct versus indirect. It turns out that that is not something that he wanted to talk about. He hates pickup artists. So what I'm trying to say is that I have come to the conclusion that this guy, without actually acknowledging it, is actually MGTOW. And there's a lot of MGTOWs out there that don't really talk to girls. They don't really know much about dating women at all. They don't really have a lot of success, but they hate pickup because they think that pickup is a beta thing, right? And so he had me on. I was like the stooge. Another facet of this that you got to understand is if I got frustrated and told him to fuck off, the whole thing would have ended. So what I was doing was I was recording it while talking to him and allowing him to talk, hopefully, so I had some recording. But I found his channel, and now I can actually react to the video. But you see, the thing is, if I just like, okay, fuck off then, you're full of shit, and just became more aggressive, then it would have degenerated into nothing. So what I had to do was be super nice, which is EQ, right? I had to just be like, okay, well, look, every time I talked, he would talk over the top of me. He was super aggressive. He didn't listen to a single thing I said. He didn't want to hear anything I was going to say. So therefore, I was like, okay, well, I'm going to record this, and then I'm going to react to it on my channel and get my point of view across, because he didn't listen to a single thing I said. And so if I was to be argumentative, it would have degenerated into just abusing each other, and I wouldn't have any content. So I thought, okay, well, hopefully I can find his channel later on and do a reaction. I found it, luckily, and so now I can make the reaction and just understand the context, that if I was to tell him to fuck off, I wouldn't have this video. He also doesn't understand that if I just go screw you and then end the call, he doesn't have any content either. So talking over people and abusing them and acting like you know everything and not listening to them is really destroying his own channel. And that's why when you look at his channel, the like to dislike ratio is always, you're banned from that. You can't actually do it. And they monitor the comments, because he just talks over the people that come on. He doesn't even want to listen to their side of the story, because he doesn't want to get to the bottom of things. Also, he, I believe he's MGTOW, and he doesn't even know it. So let's get into it.
Saying is that you see a woman, you know nothing about her, you say, hey, what's up? And based on what she's doing, you can take her home?
That's a guy that has no experience with women. You're telling me that you go talk to a girl that you don't even know, and if she's free right now, you could take her home? Girls don't go home with guys. It just blows. It's just out of his reality that you could actually sleep with a woman.
You say, look
at his face. He's lost his mind. Oh my god! And he's married. He's married too. He's out of the game. Why are you even talking about game when you're married?
What are you doing right now? She's like, oh, I've got nothing on. Let's just play out the perfect scenario.
All right, let's play it out, brother. Let's play it out.
You can see how he's just talking over the top of me. So the vast majority of the time, I wasn't even able to finish a proper sentence without him cutting me off towards the end. So I didn't really get a coherent message across at any time.
She's got nothing else on right this second. She's like, oh, I'm just shopping. I've got a day off. I'm kind of bored. She's walking really slowly, just looking up at the sky around the shopping center, right?
And you can see it says any toxic person will be blocked, because he obviously has a lot of toxic people coming in the comments, because he doesn't listen. He's shaking his head. If she's free, you can't talk to girls. They're not going to sleep with you. Very MGTOW mindset.
You go, you're like, hey, how you going? She's like, oh, hi. She stops. She looks at you. She gives you all of her attention. You're like, so what are you doing right now? She's like, oh, I've got nothing on. I'm like, so you working tonight, or you got anything on this afternoon? Just say it's lunchtime. She's like, oh, nothing. I'm like, well, I need a coffee. How about we get a coffee together right now? You go for a coffee. Perfect scenario. She enjoys the coffee. Then you say,
look at his mind. Look at his face. you talk to a girl, and you ask her what she's doing right now, assuming that you're a boss. You know, like if you just go over to a girl and you say, look, what are you doing right now? If you're free, maybe we should hang out. That's assuming that she's attracted to you. That's a very alpha trait, right? Not that alpha's a real thing, but it's a very masculine thing. It's just assuming that girls are attracted to you off the approach. It's not putting them on a pedestal. And he wasn't interested in debating direct versus indirect. So this isn't really a direct versus indirect discussion. This is a guy that hates guys that go out and pick up girls because really he's a MGTOW.
say, look.
Wait.
You speak to girls? Oh my god, you speak to girls? No, I can't get this. I gotta get this straight.
You go to coffee with her. Let's get into the conversation you're having with her. What the fuck are you talking to her about?
It's blowing his mind. There's so many of these guys out there that have never... And he didn't allow me to say cold approach. He said cold approach is a PUA term. And I said, well, talking to girls, is that okay? He's like, yeah, but you said you wouldn't let go of it. I said, well, you go over and speak to a girl. And I was trying to avoid saying any PUA terminology because he didn't like that. But you see, his mind's blown. You spoke to a girl on the street. Instantly, she's like, okay, I'll give this guy a chance. I'll go sit down for a coffee with him and get to know him. And it blows his mind. What do you say to the girl when you're talking to her? It's like, he's not asking from a point of view of attacking me. He's asking because he has no idea what to say to a girl that you just met. That's where he's asking from. Very MGTOW. Which, I'm not attacking MGTOWs, by the way. MGTOWs, you know, but there's nothing wrong with MGTOWs. If men want to go their own way, that's perfectly okay with me. What I'm getting at here is that this guy, he doesn't know he's MGTOW. That's the real crux of this problem. And he's talking about masculine things and women when he really, if you haven't really spoken to too many girls and you don't know what to talk to her about in a cafe, you don't really have the experience, do you? I doubt this guy has got laid with anyone but obviously his wife in years.
The conversation will be basically, okay, so does she live near here? Does she live near my place or close to my place? Does she work relatively close to here? Is she working tomorrow morning? So can she stay over at my place tonight immediately? What are her hobbies and things like that? And try to talk about things like hobbies or things that she's interested in that you could probably talk about possibly doing next week.
All right, well, let's say before you get to the house, I want to ask you this question. How many pussies does a woman have?
You know, that's the question? He's like, it just blew his mind that you could actually pick up a girl immediately off the street. It's like, how many pussies does a girl have? And then I think for a second there, I just thought to myself, one? Like, what type of a stupid question is that? You see, he's trying to do the gotcha moment. How many? What sky's the blue, Dave? What color's the sky, Dave? Blue. You know, it's like, that's not really a gotcha. It's just stupidity. It's like a power play. You can see the silence. I don't know what to say. I'm like, yeah, one.
I believe they have one.
Of course they.
And I say, I believe they have one. I'm not sure. I'm like, obviously, what a stupid question.
They do. Of course they have. Yeah, you're right. Of course they have. Hey, of course they have one pussy. They have one pussy, guy.
And I wonder, like, how stupid must his audience be to listen to this stuff? They have one pussy. It's like, we're talking about me meeting a girl, taking her on a date straight away, and then the conversation in the cafe, and then he just goes straight into, how many pussies does a girl have? They have one pussy. Like, is he saying I'm the pussy by wanting to sleep with her? Like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, he's definitely, well, he's married, so he's out of the game. He wouldn't know anything about game then, would he?
Guys, you see that? They have one. Okay.
I've got one pussy.
Now, right? He said they have one pussy. See that, guys? So now, when you get her to your place, walk us through everything you do. What do you do when she walks in your place?
Well, it depends on whether you got enough signs that things are going to kick off. As soon
Wait, what sign? Wait, what sign? What is it? A sign from God? Is it?
This is a guy that has no experience with women at all. Signs whether she's interested in sleeping with you immediately, but not whether a sign from God is going to tell you whether the girl is interested. You take her back to your place, you take her back to her place for a reason. You know, it could just be you cook her dinner, you hang out with her for a little bit, and you know, just hang out. You don't have to sleep with her when she's at your place, but if there's enough signs that she would be down to do that, do it. And this guy's pointing to he's asked me, how do I talk to girls in a cafe? How many pussies does a girl have? And how do I know if a girl's interested in me? Do I look for signs from God? These are the questions this guy's asking me. He literally knows nothing about dating.
A meteor shower, what sign are we looking for?
Oh, if you had my upbringing, you'd realize I don't believe in God.
Well, I don't. Okay, what sign are you looking for? What are we?
You can see I'm laughing. I'm like, this guy must be so stupid. What the hell's going on here? This is a joke, right? I'm also aware that there's some sort of a live audience in the background, but I couldn't see him, by the way. I couldn't see his face. So it was only audio. It was only audio. That's all and I had no idea who he was. I didn't know anything about him at this stage.
What are we looking for as a sign? What are we looking for? Hold on, billboard?
If you touch her hand, she holds your hand back. You touch her lower back, she leans into you. Whether she's showing signs that she's interested in you. There's multitude.
Okay,
of signs.
when you walk in the door, walk me through what you do, step by step. Okay, you got it.
See, this is the total newbie way of thinking. What's the step-by-step process to having sex with a girl? It's like, come on, dude, it's far more complicated than that. It's like, what's the step-by-step process of having a conversation? What's the ABC? This is the total newbie way of thinking, and it is probably the stupidest question you could have out there. If you have canned lines or a canned strategy when you bring a girl in the front door, not taking in any empathy as to who she is, what she's about, if she's interested in you, what mood she's in, like is she like latching onto you, is she like standoffish, like it's a complicated thing. It's like, tell me what you do as soon as you walk in the door, A, B, C, D. It's like, how do you answer such a stupid question?
To get coffee, you're going through the door now. What are you doing?
If there's very little.
Also, I want to add that if you look at the comments, all these guys are saying, no, this isn't real. No, you can't just meet a girl and take her straight home. It blows their mind that you could actually meet a girl and take her straight home. Meeting a girl in a nightclub, you take her straight home from there as well. It's just blowing this guy and his audience's mind. These guys don't talk to girls. They don't really have any experience, and I dare say, apart from the ones that are married, they're just like, I'm the boss. Bitches do what I tell them to do. But then it's very strange way of thinking. I don't fully understand these guys at all. I understand proper MGTOWs because I understand what they're saying, and it makes perfect sense. But guys that are MGTOW and they don't even know they're MGTOW, I don't know what goes on in their minds, to be honest.
Very little signs then I'll actually just take her straight into the kitchen and start cooking up some dinner, like chopping up things. I might do.
So wait, you just met her no more than an hour ago.
That is correct.
And you're gonna take her home and cook her a meal? Why?
That is. And while I'm cooking her dinner, I'll put my hand on her hips, and if she's okay with that, I'll cuddle her a bit, and then I'll cook dinner. And then we'll probably either go straight into my bedroom or after.
Wait. Are you eating dinner in your bedroom or are you eating dinner at the table?
I like to actually eat on the bed because it's just more efficient.
Okay, while you're eating dinner, now this woman who doesn't even know you,
now he's trying to me to me. Like he's a mix. I think these guys that don't know their MGTOW, they're a mixture between male feminists and MGTOW. Because he's kind of trying to me to me here. He's like, you don't even know this girl and she's in your place. That's sleazy. That's so sleazy. You just take a girl straight home. Oh man.
You're gonna go to your home, to your place, and go in your bedroom, even go in your house, and doesn't know anything about you.
Yes.
She's gonna be on your bed, and you're gonna be on the bed eating, and then what?
We're talking about the perfect scenario, though, right?
Well, I'm here. I know. I want to hear the perfect scenario. So she's in your bed, y'all are eating, and what are y'all talking about while you eat?
Oh, you can talk about the food, what you're cooking. You're getting to know each other, so that the conversation could go anywhere.
Getting to know her for what? Okay, what?
It's like, what do you talk about? What's your canned lines? Like, what do I say to him? We sit down and then we talk about these specific topics. I always start with topic A, and then I move into topic B. The type of questions that this guy asks shows that he has no understanding on how two people communicate, because that conversation could go anywhere based on the reactions of both people. It's such an organic process. You're building rapport, you're talking about a lot of topics, and it could flow anywhere. It could go from science through to puppy dogs, or it could be food, or it could be politics, it could be anything. It could be a logical conversation, or it could be an emotional conversation. It could be anything. And to even ask that and make out as if that is not how conversations pan out in an organic way, just shows that he doesn't really have much experience with women.
Wait, okay. What is the purpose of getting to know her if you so-called gonna smash? What are you getting to know?
See, that's one thing that a lot of these guys that don't really get laid much think. They think that it is purely a sexual thing. And if it's a purely sexual thing, then what you are far more valuable than her. And therefore you're getting a girl that's beneath your mate value. If you're a really high value, high quality man, you can get low value girls all day. But the problem here is, we're talking from a pickup, a dating, a PUA standpoint, which is that 80% of men, or even 50% of men, they're in the bottom bracket of society. So the vast majority of women are on their level or above their level. That's why they're not getting laid, and that's why they need to turn to pickup in the first place, right? So therefore, if you go over and it's just purely man to woman, sexual, you don't even need to know them, that only works if you are of such high value, or you're an American like this guy swiping right on Tinder in a third world country. Like, he would destroy a third world country. He turns up, he's like, his Tinder profile is just American passport, American dollars. And then it's like swipe right, and all of these girls just arrive. Hypergamy, right? But if you're of the lower bracket of society and you're struggling to get laid, then you need to figure out how to get girls above your mate value, and you have to get to know them. You can't just make it purely sexual, because you're not going to get any matches on Tinder because you're of such low value. You're not going to get, very rarely girls on your level or even beneath your level exist. And even girls that you would objectively argue that are beneath your level will still be dating and banging guys that are above you anyway. So therefore, well, this is one thing that he doesn't, these are a few things, there's a multitude of things that he has no idea about, is that you can't just make it purely man to woman. You need to get to know them, you need to build rapport, you need to understand who they are, and they have to somehow catch get an emotional connection to you, because sexually you're beneath them on the mate value scale. So it's the only way in there is get to know them on an emotional level, build rapport, get to know them, they get to know you, and hopefully they catch feelings. And obviously that's not going to happen in a short period of time, but we're talking about the perfect scenario, which has happened to me multitude of times this year.
If we have a lot in common, we're going to continue to see each other. It's not just going.
But wait.
So what I'm saying is, I get to know the girl, even if I sleep with her on the first day. I'm building rapport so that I can see her again next week and the week after, and have her she could even become my girlfriend, right? Kind of common sense for most people out there, but obviously not this guy.
How do you know what you have in common? Wait.
You know what you have in common by asking her what hobbies and things she does. That's what I just said, buddy. What the hell?
You met a woman, and all you said is, let's go coffee to my place.
No, we've already discussed that. We have coffee, then we get to know each other during the coffee. You don't just go, okay, coffee, bang, and then straight to my place. You sit down together and you talk in an organic, conversational way, which obviously this guy has no experience with.
Place to the bed. So what do you mean you have in common? What, she's got low self-esteem? She's easy, low-hanging fruit, bottom of the barrel? What are we talking? Huh?
Sometimes, but I think girls with high self-esteem are confident. They're able to do that.
Yeah, I think a girl with higher self-esteem is confident enough to go home with a guy, so she's more likely to be a more attractive woman. A girl with low self-esteem would be scared to go back to your place because she's had so many bad experiences in her life. A girl with high confidence, she's confident within herself, she's a confident woman of the world, is more likely to go, okay, well, I'm a sexual creature. I might give this guy a go. I'll go back to his place. He doesn't look like a threat to me. I'm going to go back and sleep with him because I'm a confident woman, right? So this guy is confused whether he throws things out like Me Too feminist type of ideas, where he's saying things like, you just met a girl and you took her home? But he also doesn't understand there's a other part of the feminist part, which is that women that are confident are comfortable within their sexuality. And so he's pushing this like you shouldn't sleep with women narrative as well. It's like, well, make up your mind, buddy. Where are you? And if you're just so inconsistent, then what value do you add to the world if you don't really know where you stand?
But also, if it went well on that date and we did, it's like...
Wait. When did it become a date? Wait. So let me get this straight.
He gets stuck on definitions. If it's a date, we're hanging out together. You can call it a date if you want. We're hanging out together then. It's like, don't say cold approach either. We're just talking to each other. It's like, come on, dude. Can't you... He's not able to think fast enough or understand what's going on.
The coffee to your place, to your bed is a date?
It's pretty fast, I know. It's the same as a guy going into a nightclub and having a few drinks and then going straight back to his place with a girl from the nightclub.
Wait.
Which it is, right? It's pretty much the same thing, except it's safer, it's during the day, there's no alcohol involved, so there's no chances of, people taking advantage of each other. And it's totally sober during the day. It's a safer environment. He probably doesn't understand. He probably hasn't pulled a girl from a nightclub ever.
Hey, when you go up to women, talk to them, and all right, what happens if you don't do coffee? Do you tell guys to get their phone number?
Yeah, or whatever contact information.
Can you tell me why do you hate yourself so much? Why would?
Yeah, you don't want to get a girl's contact information so you can get in contact with her another time and line up a date. We don't want to do that. See, that's the thing. It's like, I'm so alpha that I don't need a girl's number because I don't chase bitches. Bitches chase me. And I'll tell you one thing out there, that bitches aren't chasing you. That's why you're not getting laid. Girls aren't chasing you. unless you are Will Smith. Oh well, I said Will Smith. Your Snoop Dogg, you know, or your who's like the most famous guy in Hollywood. They're getting chased, but us, girls aren't throwing themselves at us. We have to chase. That's what man to woman is.
Would you tell a guy to get a bitch's phone number? Why?
Yeah, you don't want to get those bitches' phone numbers. Us alpha dogs, we don't do any of that.
So you can line up a date another time in the future.
But okay, but why do you hate yourself so much when you're telling guys to pander, kiss a woman's ass, and bend over backwards for a number? Why would you tell them to do that when...
How about I get your number so I can contact you another time? That's not really kissing anyone's ass.
And all they're doing is running behind calling up the fucking woman, right?
Well, they don't.
The funny thing is, he asked for my contact information to come onto this show. Does that mean that he was kissing my ass to get me on because he was chasing me to get me on his show? It's kind of the same thing, right? He's not sleeping with me, obviously, but he wanted my contact information to get me on the show. His rationale there's no consistency in his thinking at all.
They don't have to get a girl's number if they don't want to meet that particular
But you're
girl.
telling...
Yeah, you don't have to get a number. You can just let her go and she can sleep with someone else.
But you're telling your people to get a woman's number, though, right?
But how do you date a girl if you can't contact her?
I don't...
This guy's like, no. Bitches call me. I just sit at home talking about bitches, and then bitches just appear. They just go, woof, like magic. It's like, what the hell is this guy on?
Contact her. The bitch contacts me.
The bitch just comes, and he was talking about God before. He's like, the girl that I didn't approach, I didn't speak to her, I didn't get her number, so therefore I didn't even speak to her because I didn't call to approach her. I didn't take her out on a date to get to know her and build some sort of rapport. I didn't even at the end of it get her contact information. But this girl that I've never met before, don't have any way of contacting her, contacts me, motherfuckers. She just appears like magic. It's like, how does that even work?
I don't contact her. She calls me.
This sounds like magic. So
It sounds like magic. And it's like, what is going on in this guy's head? It's like, yeah, girls, bitch contacts me. They just come straight to me. Oh, I'm done. Well, anyway, there's a lot of these guys out there that are talking about masculinity and things like that, but they talk about texting girls and meeting girls and dating girls and whatever. He tricked me into coming on under false pretenses that we're going to talk about direct versus indirect, and then all he did was the entire time cut me off and told me that I was wrong and everything that I said was stupid. Yet if I was to tell him to fuck off, the interview would have been over literally in the first minute, because instantly he was insulting me from the very first minute. And so he needs to understand that the fact that I was being so respectful to him and allowing him to cut me off all the time and dealing with his bullshit the entire time was to allow the phone call to continue, and therefore I was helping him with content. And he just doesn't understand that, obviously. And on top of that, all his questions were fucking stupid. Everything he said was fucking dumb. And he knows nothing about dating. He's married. If you're married and you're talking about dating and meeting new women, what a load of fucking bullshit. And one of his buddies came on and said, I've read your book. He hadn't read my book. He doesn't know nothing about it. There's my autobiography, guys. You want to read that? And if you want some coaching with a guy that actually does get laid and doesn't talk a lot of shit online, contact me and we can do some dating advice. The sweet art of cold approach, which he doesn't like. I'll see you guys in the next video.